G'day guys, Chris the Ultimate Recycler. Again in the storeroom. We're still working in this corner, but the quantity of stuff's getting smaller and smaller. I think this is episode 41 of the Great Shop Cleanup, and today we're going to look at, there's 4 yellow plastic, I think they're gravy containers, containing various stuff. I think there's some vintage mobile phones. This front one's just got some chain in it. We'll get through these pretty quickly. There's one other box in this shelf. I don't know if we'll get to that today. Depends how long these containers take us. So we'll take them through to the counter and have a quick peek, work out what we're going to do with them. And if we can have a look in that box as well, that'll free up another shelf. We just have a stack of milk crates in the corner and of course the manuals in the cupboard that I have been sorting out. Let's go and look at these tubs first and see what's in them. Okay, this first one is just full of chain. Little bits of, oh, it's heavy. Lots of random chain. There's some older stuff, there's some small links, there's some modern galvanized, all short lengths. Well, that's got a bit of length to it. There's lots of this smaller stuff as well, just in little bits. I've kept it because I use it to hang things off the old ladders in the shop, for chaining up lights, for chaining up display items. I'm not going to need this anymore. I'm going to put a price on the whole tub full, probably just $10 for a whole box of chain. Now these are gravy tubs, and I used to get a lot of these out of the rubbish skip at the back of the bakery because they're just really handy containers. The lids clip on nicely, they're mouse proof, and they've been great storage. And I do keep some scrap, and well, I used to keep scrap in them. We actually use some at home for the dog food, which is fantastic, keeps the mice out of it. But I'm just going to sell that as it is, probably for about $10 in the tub. Easy, don't have to worry about that anymore. Let's look at the next one. This next one's a bit lighter, so I can show you the container better. This has its lid on it, and it's we got phones. I think some of them had phones. Oh, this has got remote controls. Excellent. I shall take them home because I am using remotes quite often when I'm finding TVs and DVDs and video players. Some of them won't be worth much. Some of them might be sought after. I could possibly eBay some. I better check any. That's quite heavy. I'm thinking it might still have batteries in it. That's a Toshiba. So some of these vintage remotes are sought after, particularly for CRT TVs. And there's certainly some older ones here like that Akai. So I'll go through these at home. There's a Mitsubishi one. Some of them will be stereo systems. Some will be DVDs, VHS players or VCRs. Hopefully there's some old TV ones because I'm looking for them from time to time. There's an old Sharp, nice vintage remote there. So I'll sort these out at home. There's nothing I'm really going to sell straight from this because I've got tubs of various remotes at home. And even though I'm not taking e-waste anymore through the shop, once I retire I'll probably do a lot more with it, and I do like to try and fix TVs, and you often need remotes. So good, I'll take that one home. Okay, this next one's a bit heavier, and this one has written on it smartphones. I think that's what it will be, yes. A whole heap, it's nearly full of smartphones, some quite damaged. Looks like the battery's expanded on that one severely. Oh, so is that one. So I don't know if these are going to have much value. I do have a pile of iPhones and Samsungs and various other, there's a HTC. I have some of these at home. I was going to put them on eBay in lots of like 10, just for parts or repair. That one's got a smashed screen, both sides. I don't know if they're going to be worth much. I could just throw them all in e-waste. I'm not sure. Yeah, that's another iPhone. There's obviously some older stuff here. Some of it, well, older in terms of smartphones. Some of them may actually be collectible. We'll tip this out on the counter and have a bit of a look. But first we'll have a look in the other tub and see what's in that one. And these are just called mobile phones or cell phones for you guys in the States. And there's just some vintage ones. These are non-smartphones. Some of them might have, oh, there's some flip phones. So some of these might have some collectability to them. I'll have to go through them and check. I'll tip them out on the counter. I'll have a bit of a browse and just, you'll probably recognise one you used to have. Okay, we'll start with the smartphones. And I don't know if the e-waste companies offer money for smartphones. I think e-waste Ben used to. I'm not sure. I never sold any to them. That's why I've got a pile here. So some of them look quite good, undamaged. I could probably see if they charge up, maybe reboot them to, or reset them to factory settings. I'm not immediately going to be able to tell you what they are. There's some iPhones, that's a Samsung. Some of the screens have got a bit of damage, and some have expanded. So, and there's a lot that it looked like they've been run over by a truck 3 or 4 times. Yeah, there's some damaged ones here for sure. Little Samsung, that's an iPhone. Yeah, they're all pretty badly damaged actually. They might only be scrap. That one looks pretty neat, HTC. I used to have one of those. But I'm not sure if they're going to have any second-hand value, parts value. I'm certainly not going to go to the trouble of trying to charge them all up. I don't think it's worthwhile. That's a Nokia. So what do you think, ZTE, what do you think I should do? Just leave them in a tub and take them to the e-waste at the transfer station? Or maybe I can put a bulk lot that's only half a phone. Maybe I can put a bulk lot on eBay for parts of repair, but then I don't know about data on here, if people have got data. That one's really sticky. Samsungs, lots of Samsungs, and lots of iPhones. So I'll have to check out eBay and see what's collectible, what isn't. I don't think it's a phone, is it? That's a 4G. I'm not sure. Is that a Wi-Fi thingo? Little Samsung. So I don't expect we've got much value here at all. Perhaps I could send them all to Hugh Jeffries. I don't know if Hugh wants them. Let me know in the comments, mate. I think most of these are just too old to be of any use. Not sure what that one is. That one looks pretty good. And Aspera submersible. Is that just the case maybe? I don't know. That's a bit unusual. So anyway, I think I'll just leave these in a tub and see what you guys reckon I should do with them. I guess, should I be worried about people's data on them? I mean, when people give phones to the e-waste or drop them in the e-waste crates, I guess it's up to the owner to wipe their data before they do it. Maybe that's why some of them look like they've been run over by a truck 10 times, because people have tried to smash them up so no one can get the data off them. I don't know. As an e-waste collector, do I have some responsibility, or is it up to the people that give them to me? I don't think these have necessarily been dropped off to me. I think maybe I've just, would have collected some out of house lots I cleaned out. Maybe I did get I probably have had a few dropped off over the years in e-waste. I'll leave them in a tub and you guys can let me know what you think I should do with them. And now these other phones are probably even less value. Although there might be some more collectible ones in here. That one looks like it's been on the bottom of the lake for a while. It's a Motorola. It's actually not too bad. It's just filthy dirty. An LG. That's the cover off one. Is that a BlackBerry? I'm not sure. It's a Telstra phone. That's an older one. That may even be just a cordless phone from out of a house rather than actual mobile. Little Samsung flip phone. So I think the same deal. I'll let you guys advise on what I should do. There's an old one. I used to use an old Motorola like this. So maybe some of these may have some collectible value. This would have to go back to the early 90s, I would think. Wouldn't be able to charge that one. It's quite corroded on the charge points. But does that have collectible value? Could I throw some of these on eBay? Maybe have a whole selection of flip phones. That one's been sticky taped up. Little Nokia. There's another unusual one. Looks like it's a waterproof, long range. Don't know. LG, little flip phone. An earlier Nokia there. That's had a cord cut off it, so that's maybe not even. They've been wired into something. CDMA, LG, so that's getting back a bit. Little Nokias here. I have got some of these put away, but they're all in really good condition. I don't know if it's really worth it. Are they ever going to be worth anything? I guess in 50 years they might be, but won't affect me then. Nokia, lots of Nokias. Oh, that's the sticky one we had before, was it? That's a rugged looking phone. Don't know what brand that one is. Oh, they've got just ZTE, that one. More Nokias. Has that got a little keypad? No, some of them have the slide down keypad. I don't think that one does. But they're quite damaged, most of them. Very scuffed screens. Some have got broken screens. Hyundai. What's this big one? A Qualcomm. Oh, that's a pretty vintage one. Little antenna. So I could do a box lot on eBay. You know, just instant collection. Take it as you find it. If I get 30 bucks or 50 bucks, or as long as it's worth my while packaging them up, might be a go. It's Motorola, looks quite neat. And I guess these older non-smartphones, I don't have any risk of or any data issues. I don't think these stored much other than maybe phone numbers, but chances are the batteries are all dead in them anyway. So there's a couple that might be worth checking out on eBay. But all right, again, I'll leave these in a tub. You can let me know what you think. I'll be guided by your expert knowledge on the subject. That one's got a bad bleed on the screen there. And yeah, I might be better just selling them in bulk, or should I just take them all to the transfer station as e-waste and be done with them? All right, I'll put them away for now. Okay guys, I'm home in the shed now, and what you're looking at is some of the stash that I've had here in the shed. So I didn't realise I owned so many old mobile phones. I've done a bit of checking and a bit of reading, and the ones that are bulged, like this is the only one out of this lot that's pushed itself apart because the battery's turned into what they call a spicy pillow. They're the ones that are more risky, well, highly risky of actually catching fire. The actual battery, if it gets punctured, or over time the chemicals inside degrade and it can have an internal short, and then you can not only have a fire, well, you get a thermal runaway, they call it, and the thing virtually explodes or becomes a flamethrower. Now, apparently, just because, and I've learned a bit about these, just because a phone may be dead flat, no life in it at all, won't turn on, even if it's in perfect working order, and I know that, and it won't turn on, doesn't mean it's not at risk of having chemical reactions inside and turning into a mini bomb. So just because they're flat, they're still dangerous. So these things really shouldn't be kept in storage. I've probably dodged a bit of a bullet there, especially with some of them that have actually expanded, and there was the couple or few we saw earlier. AI suggests that stored in shed conditions or poor conditions, damp conditions, is very dangerous, and these things should be treated with extreme caution. In fact, I was told to remove them instantly from my shed or shop or house. AI does get a bit carried away. I feel like I should be having asbestos gloves and big metal tongs and putting it in a bucket full of sand out in the middle of a football field. Not quite that dangerous, maybe, but there's still a risk. So I've made a decision with the smartphones that I'm going to gather them all together. Now, a lot of these have stickers, you'll see, and I have tested them. I've charged them up. This one had a screen flicker at top, but totally non-responsive, could not reset to factory settings. But it did take some charge. That's an iPhone something or other, iPhone 6, yeah. There's some other brands, but all these are iPhones, and there was some in the other tub. So a lot of these I noted that they had issues, could not reset, but some of them have been reset to factory settings and were in perfectly good working condition. That one's not a bad iPhone 3GS. There's some that wouldn't power on at all. This one over here is a Samsung S8, and it's dead, no life at all, and it has a damaged screen. So I've made notes on all of them a while back when I was playing around with chargers and seeing if I could charge them up, and it was probably a little risky on its own. That one's okay. Galaxy S4, reset to factory settings, screen's not damaged. They're all Samsung Galaxies and similar. These ones in the center are all iPhones. There's some different brands here. There's an LG, I'm not even sure what brand that one is, an Otto, don't know, or Oppo, read it the right way. HTC, this one isn't branded, I think it just says Telstra on the back. M1, there's some ZTE blades here. So yeah, my plan is I'm going to group them in lots, sell them in bulk on eBay as they are. Apparently it's okay to post them as long as it's not airmail, but you cannot, it's actually illegal to post any that are showing signs of degradation and are much more of a fire risk. I also have some iPods here, and these ones apparently are quite collectible. They do have similar dangers with batteries. There's none of these have bulged that I can see. This one has dropped at the shop ages ago. It says plays music but can't get back to menu. So apparently some of these are worth pretty good money. This one's it's an iPod. There was a different brand here somewhere. Is that this one? No, iPod? I thought it had this is a Sony, this one. So I might group them. They should get pretty reasonable money on eBay. The iPhones and the Android phones will get reasonable money, worth my while from what I've seen online. But my plan is to get rid of them all because they can be dangerous. I don't want to store them in my shed. I don't want my shed to burn down, or my shop, or my house. So they're all going to go fairly quickly. The ones that I cannot post at all, I'm going to box up and take to the transfer station as e-waste. I'm not going to risk any issues for the sake of a few dollars. So they're going to be recycled out there. These ones I will keep because there's much less risk of fire. Some of them, I think most of these probably aren't even lithium batteries, but they're much safer. The batteries can be easily removed, and they may be worth a bit down the track. So at least I'm more happy about storing those. From what I've read, I don't want to store these smartphones. Same with laptops, really. I shouldn't have stored them for so long. They can have issues as the lithium batteries get older and degrade. They can literally spontaneously combust, and I don't want that. So to save the risk, I'm going to get rid of them all. That's what I've decided to do at this stage. But by all means, let me know in the comments what you think I should do. Where are they as risky as AI made out they are? You hear of, lots of lithium batteries starting fires, but I always figured it was because they were left on the charger and charged unattended or overcharged. But given that what I've learned, apparently the batteries just with age can become more dangerous regardless of how much charge they've got. So let me know in the comments if you know more about that than I do, which probably wouldn't be hard. I'm going to group these up and try and get them on eBay pretty quickly because I don't want them sitting around. I probably will keep them in that army box, that World War II steel army box we found the other day, just in case something happens. At least it'd be safer in a box like that, in a area not so cluttered. And I'll get rid of them as quickly as I can. I'll let you know how they go. But the older ones I think I'll hang on to for now because they may be worth more down the track. They don't take up much room, so that's the plan for now. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you in the next video. We didn't get to that other box. I think there's a couple of clocks in it. We'll do that next episode. We'll see you then. Bye for now.